Welcome to the Tennessee Native Plant Society monthly seminar. And I'd like to introduce our speaker tonight is Joy Grissom from Knoxville, where she started and runs the Native Plant Rescue Squad. She's going to tell us all about it. And I'm hoping that there might be some folks who want to start one or work on one in other cities across the state, because the plants of it become available then for our schools, for native plant projects at the schools, and a whole host of other things. So that the plants are rescued.
Yep.
So
okay.
Joy is director and co-founder. She's a Tennessee native with a background in public health advocacy and community education. She's dedicated to the health of the environment and how human engagement and our connection with wildlife is an integral component of our well-being. So the Native Plants Rescue Squad works with builders, developers, and landowners to rescue native plants that would otherwise be destroyed during clearing, building, or development. Development is something we've got a lot of here in Tennessee. The rescue plants are then made available for educational opportunities or restoration projects with the goal of increasing the overall ecological health of our region. So, and this particular native plant rescue squad is located in Knoxville. And I could go on talking. I know Joy is a lovely, bubbly person, and this should be a lot of fun. And I'm hoping a lot of folks will have a good takeaway from this about ideas that they might be able to employ. So Joy, the floor is yours.
Thank you. I just have to mention that I kind of like that I am able to be seen and also have the presentation. So I guess, Karen, I'll just say, what's the key word? I want to say go on, move, click.
Just next.
I'll say next. Okay. Yep. So a lot of times I'm speaking to people that already are familiar with who we are. So I'll kind of go into that and how we became a nonprofit and whether we even wanted to do nonprofit. And instead of having this nursery and having native plants available, where they're very lacking all over as far as nurseries go. But to make it more educational. So this took time to really think about. And this is our vision statement: ecological health and beauty, where we all live, work, and play. Really happy about that. Next. So this is a personal inspiration for me. I cater my presentations because I'm doing it in my resigned partner would cater for his what do you call them, mentors or things like that. So this is Aldo Leopold. He's a biologist, conservationist back in the 30s and 50s up to the 50s. And the idea of land ethic was something that was very touching. The idea that that it can just simply enlarge boundaries of the community to include not only humans, but the ground below us and the water and the critters and the microorganisms, just by watching, just by being still and, uniting with them. And this quote was important because it's got community in it, which is, kind of our niche. We abuse land because we see it as a commodity belonging to us. When we see land as community to which we belong, we may begin to use it with love and respect. I could go on, but next. So with the development, there is little to any consideration to the natural resources that are being lost. And so because Jerry and I were best friends and did all sorts of natural stuff together, We saw it happening and we're like, had you, that just happened up, you just like, you remember what was there? And, we just started what countless gardeners have been doing for decades and just like, let's just dig that up. And then we're like, well, there's a lot we need to dig up and save and provide to the community. So we like, considered how to formalize it and get permission. Yeah, next. Yeah, so this is an example of one of the biggest rescue sites outside of Knoxville, very natural, preserved area that a landowner wanted to make money logging it. So we found out about this from a friend who had a place, and this is pretty far from us. So he had a place out there in the wilderness, and he said this is happening, and he just went up to the bulldozer people and asked if we could dig up some plants, and they're like, sure, I don't care. So we didn't have to do any contracts or anything formal too much. And they were just said, don't come on the weekends. And so we went throughout the week. I know, only come on the weekend. Sorry. So, yeah, this is what it looks like. It's devastating. So you can go, you can next. um, the turtles weren't out there. I didn't actually not get to, but have to run in too much to wildlife because that would just make me want to take them home. And luckily the turtles are from another site, but I learned a lot about the communities, plant communities, what grows well together, and brought that into, to people that are interested in landscaping and needing to revitalize their yards and show them pictures of what is in nature. And this is kind of how it looks when it goes wild. So it's an inspiration for them to not worried about maintenance. Next. There's our mission. It's the longest mission I've ever seen in my life, but we had to say it. So I think Karen, I think I gave you our mission. I guess the key word in our niche is rescue. And that's our novelty. That's where people are most attracted to that idea. And to make them available for educational opportunities, that idea developed further along too. It took a few years to figure out who we are, and yep. And so we want to get them back into the environments that they're lacking and create corridors and change the landscape culture. Next. This was our very first trial at a contract, and to let developers know, we're serious about this and that we're very considerate, and have to be bipartisan in this kind of situation. They don't want to feel like the enemy, so you just let them know, hey, this is who we are. We're pretty grassroots. We're not trying to stop development. We want to do this at your convenience, and we want to offer you some suggestions for some, once you get your what do they call landscaping company to come out and do these just the same yards, just multiple different, like they choose this palette and continue to use that throughout these subdivisions. And it's just I've talked to some of these companies and they're like, well, what's available? What do you got? And it's like, well, they need plugs, honestly. But anyway, that's going to be a whole learning experience that's beyond running a nonprofit. And we offer provision of services if we want this. If you would like us to grow this for you and restore it, consider the homeowner. But they're busy. They've got a lot on their plate. We're at the bottom, but they don't care a lot of times. Next. Oh, next. Karen. Oh, sorry. This is more of all they really require is that no one's going to get hurt, and we all agree that uh, I mean, I don't really think it's going to hold up in a lawsuit, but you know, we trust our volunteers, and we do have personal insurance to cover, depending on the project, we can cover some accidents. So that's just been a complicated conversation. We try our best, but usually you just never know if someone's mom or partner is going to press them to, but there's been no accidents. I'm waiting for the snakes, but snake bites, so far so good. Next. So yeah, I've enjoyed like learning about the differences in conservation, preservation and restoration, you know, with the idea of the park services and other trails, and you know what people consider conservation. And they seem to mean the same thing, and they're closely linked. And the difference is how they're carried out. So one is the protection, um, and conservation is like the generally associated with protection of natural resources while also having access to humans. But with preservation, it's completely protected from humans. So our deal is restoration. That's what we do. That's where I mean, we do it all, but or at least advocate for it. But restoration's our key. And if you notice, our symbol is kind of mimicking these the arrowheads, and then the state parks kind of like smoothed it out even more, and then we use the shovel. In the shovel is the sassafras leaf, and a critter. So it's a host to the spicebush swallowtail. And there she is. There they are. By the way, that I'm just going to give credit to myself. Even though I'm not tech savvy, I can do some graphic design. Next. So yes, this is our novelty. This is where people really are attracted to what we do, and also where we really, really bring in the public. The idea of digging plants, and it's not as easy as it sounds. You know, you have to ID them. You have to let them know how the plant grows, and what's the difference in this one and that one, and they kind of want to learn about the biology of everything. Why is this important? A lot of our volunteers want to know if it's edible, what's the uses, why save it. So it hopefully we'll develop workshops in the future to do these teaching methods. And so looks good. Next. And this was our first rescue site in 2015. We had a friend with 100, gosh, that's a lot, maybe 50 acres, outside of Knoxville, near you know, a natural area where there is still like old homes and stuff and things being built, but you know, old stuff. So he was going to selectively log for pine beetle, and he let us know what the developers or the bulldozers were going to do, how that would affect the things around them. So we had our flags and our barriers where we could rescue. And I had never, like, that was just the biggest learning experience, and in hard work, because we have to wheelbarrow a lot of this stuff out. And we know that there's different environments we want to go check out, but it's taking a while to get there with the load. Yeah, and I just want to value all these. We learned that lady slippers were not very cooperative with transplanting, but some people have had luck. And I did, well, that could go off the rails there. Next. This is what we got from that site for the most part. And I use this old fashioned, I wish I had it at hand, but this Tennessee wildflowers of the Tennessee, Appalachian and Ohio River Valley areas, and learned what these were. And it was very intense. So this is our availability, and just from that site. All right, next.
This is the book, I hope.
Yes, thank you. I still use it. I adore it. I need pictures. I need some simplicity with where these are located. I love that it has like some folklore knowledge. It has the Cherokee um like connection in the beginning and our regions. I think it's great. And a lot of people don't know that's around. And I know they don't have like a recent edition, and it's
Yes, we
really
do.
hard.
We do. Yes, we
Oh,
do. It's
re
out.
what? Third or fourth?
No, but we've got, yeah, we'll be doing a new edition in another year or two, I guess.
Oh, thank God.
This is the Native Plant Society's book.
Yeah,
And
yep, yep,
Dennis
yep.
Horn, the lead author, he might be on this. He may not be. I'm not sure.
Hi, lead Arthur. Arthur.
I didn't see him, so he may not be. But
Well, I can't wait for that.
nice
I've
visitor.
had to buy several. I'll see them at thrift stores, not thrift stores, but like, used bookstores. And I wish I could show you mine. Oh gosh,
There,
I have to. I have to show you mine. So this is mine that I used through let's see, 2015 until I finally got a new one this year. I just kept going. And there's the index is back on. I finally got a new one. And I tell people that one's good. But now there's apps to help out, and I finally have a botanist working with me. Thank God.
uh,
Next.
um, yes.
This is the pictures at the front where Jerry and I were on the truck, and he was posing out on one of the slopes that that were logged. So this is really heartbreaking, but
Mhm.
you do the best you can, and it is a learning experience for the volunteers and we need those volunteers because they're young a lot of times. And yeah, we momentum, back strength, very important. Next. We started connecting more in Knoxville. So this is another conservation organization, it's the Appalachian Mountain Bike Club. They have really done something to Knoxville. They brought a lot of people in for this recreational like hub of for mountain bikers. But I know they enjoy biking in the woods, and I know a lot of them are appreciative of all the trees and things. So nonetheless, I heard they got a grant. There was in where they were putting in trails, and I contacted them and let them know we'd like to do that. And they said, "Why do you want to rescue a bunch of weeds?" That was just one member in the back. I don't know why you would want to rescue a bunch of weeds. I think that was him. Nonetheless, another educational opportunity and a collaborative to work together. So we've been working with them a lot. They're very busy and extensive. But next, this is also at part of the urban wilderness. Since we started rescuing, we were like, let's restore where these trails are. There needs to be areas where people are attracted to these specific wild grown areas with some signage. And gotten I've gotten response, but nothing has moved forward. Things have changed. I'm going to push at it, but with finesse. Anyway, next. This was back in 2016. This is where we had our very first experience working with people to volunteer. And it was the site had a building site on it, says coming soon. And the property owner's name and phone number was just right there. So I called him up, I called him because there was no other information. And he worked with us for many years, but you have to keep following up with these developers. They're never going to contact you. Well, depends on the situation. So he was like, sure. And then that was another educational opportunity. He said, oh, my daughter's in school for raising monarchs. And he was like, I would love to know what I could plant along this area. And it just brought, my heart swelled. Yes, yes. And then, so that was one, and it had to do with the UT class. just all these serendipitous moments happen through all this involvement and things. Meeting teachers, they say, "Oh, I want my class to be more involved or in the dirt, more hands-on," and then that we've worked with him every year. Next. When it comes, so we were rescuing. This is an interesting situation with our our county stormwater management. They are there to protect and, you know, also keep our creeks and rivers clean and make sure that developers aren't messing it up or property owners, and they do a lot of tests, and so that plants are a big part of that. And if there's erosion or invasives, you know, they have to mitigate that. So we had an experience where they reached out to us and they needed to remove a ton of invasives. It was just a little extra. So there was going to be some bush hogging and some spray. They do use spray very you know, conscientiously and with consideration to its habitat. So, you know, sometimes you have to make destruction to create a better environment for the future. So anyway, we'd go in and rescue. We're like, oh, let's dig up all this, another community effort. And then a year later, so we grew it, and then a year later they had a grant to give us the money to put the plants back, and we put in other species as well. So I was really happy about that. That was cute. I wish we could do all these things more often, but there's gaps, and there's always trying to keep up with these things, but you know, right timing. Next. Blackberry Farm is a resort, and the celebrities live in this area. It is in Townsend, outside of Gatlinburg, and not too far from me actually. So I'd shoot up there some. It's a big deal. You should go to their website. Blackberry Mountain is what was being developed, in which, who did I reach out to? Oh, I heard there were mountain bike trails being built. So I had a friend give me the name of the trail builder. So all I had to do is connect with the person that was building the trail, and he gave me the connection to the property manager, land manager. He was a land manager, and he was very suspicious. It's like, because it's Blackberry Mountain and it's very exclusive. But it worked, and because of the elevation differences, and you know, being a pristine community of things where a lot of things haven't entered, like invasives. Oh, it was great. So we still work with them, and we grow plants for them to put back into the home sites that are being built. So bada bing. Next. Just some idea restoration sites. This was a homeowner who was going to build as well, and he contacted us, and it was super sweet. And he wanted to go with. We just kind of did individual rescues, not a big squad or anything, because he was really interested in learning. So I liked him being my protege or whatever. He had a lot of questions about, like, how is this useful? How is this useful? So that's very nice. And that's him. And I was gifting him something from the woods that I put together from his property. Next. Education. Oh gosh, where do I start? I'm gonna get my notes. I'm careful not to repeat myself, but I probably will just go into it. Becoming an educational organization was through the farmers market. You can actually go to the next slide. I think the picture's there. Yeah. A growing market, pun intended. So we did it. That's where Jerry and I were taking these plants to our individual homes, potting them up, and keeping them in our driveway. And we're like, let's get them out to the market. Let's get them out to people and talk about native plants, and do all this stuff. And so that's where we're like, we're a legit educational organization. And that's me reading the book that you're coming out with, the ID book, Wildflowers. Okay, next.
Hi, my hand's up. That I met you, Joy, and you gave me all of my celandine poppies, my little jugs, Solomon seal, my hearts of Buston, all the stuff that I started my native garden on in Tennessee.
Thank you. I think they're going to take comments at the end.
Oh, sorry.
All right. So we table events. We have volunteer squad on our Tuesdays where we pot up rescues. I try to go every week or have something for them to pot up. They love it. Some people refuse, or not refuse. It's not their forte. They don't want to pot things. They do organizing or labeling. And luckily we have well, we have some people that have skills that can help me build things. This is us at Wild Ones. That's where we learned that we're taking this to another level with our specialization with insects, thanks to Douglas Tallamy. Next. Yeah, my favorite. So this is basically an ecological food desert. You know, there's direct and indirect CO2 emissions, and you know they have to maintain the lawn, so there's extra the water use. So monoculture, and everywhere you have lawn, you don't have trees, shrubs, or other plants offering habitat and food for wildlife. So, trying to talk to these homeowners is it's not hard if you have the pictures ready. You know, you can talk about plants and what they do, but if you show them next, by the way, if you show them how, you know, the beauty can be, like designing paths, you can do some you know, hardscaping. And I know a lot of people like to mow because I understand that meditation. I've had to mow. I worked at the botanical gardens for 3 years, and that was one of my tasks. But I get it. I get that they want to mow, and I'm like, well, let's create some paths and mow through them. You know, just kind of meet them halfway. Next. The restoration. Let's see. So how we do some restoration is we evaluate the sites, usually, or people already can sometimes they can tell us where we don't have to come. They're like, the soil's like this, the sun's like this is the deal. But oftentimes there's going to have to be a site visit. So we'll go evaluate the site. We'll say, oh, we could preserve this or that, and this is what you need, you know, one-on-one conversation. So we know what plants to provide them, and we do a lot of donations as a nonprofit. But you know, selling plants as a nonprofit, it got a little like icky, like ethically. It felt like this is the only way we're ever gonna gain revenue. So I just kind of changed the idea of like, well, you know, you're adopting rescue animals and you pay a price. So, you know, this is adoption, suggested adoption value of blah, blah, blah. So yeah, it's just, the restoration with the homeowner and talking to them personally creates a land stewardship initiative and make a more bigger connection, because people they're starting fresh. They're like, I kind of want to do that, and you're like, well, this is what it entails. So next. These are our projects. The interesting thing that this Cemex company does, it's the bottom 2 slides to the right. They are a global leader in building materials globally. So it's they had, I know, so they have a mission to, and it recognizes and wildlife habitats, and they are certified with you know, with this national wildlife, not like certification for the national, it's like a bigger category, but so they mine for these building materials. So they want to really like put it back in. So they give a lot of money to us. Thank God. So we really appreciate them. And I know when I explain things to some people, there's going to be this condensation. There's going to be an attitude about greenwashing, and where someone wants to kind of get that a better reputation for what they do. But I do believe in them, and and I'm working with them personally. I want to work on their properties and do meadows, and they're really into it and they have money, but we got to find the time. And as far as this is also something I like to talk about. Let me see my notes first before I go into it. I don't need them. We had a native plant restoration class work on this bottom slide to the left, a medicinal garden at KBGA. So it was called like a traditional native plant medicinal garden. We had someone that had money to write a grant for this, called it the Cherokee medicinal plant garden. And what some people are aware of, you can't use tribal influences and have those names for the public without recognition and approval. It's that it's sometimes overlooked, and but we work with them. They're supposed to get back to us all the time, but I'm going to stop bugging them. So we just call them the Native Plant Medicinal Garden. Next. How much time do I have? So anyway, we work with schools. That was that. We work with the county. That's the bloom at the bottom, beautifying local outdoors without mowing. So I'm working with them, supplying the plants. It's been a great initiative. So, it's a side hustle too. As far as like they've gotten me to do these maintenance plans as well. It's not my favorite, but I thought, well, got to add it to the income. Next.
Sorry, Erica.
That's fine. Planting the native plant medicinal garden. So I just jumped ahead to it. So having these plants, learning about their traditional medicinal values is interesting. This sign, because we have arboretums and we have, what do you want to call them? Just these public gardens, the botanical gardens. Sorry. We have several botanical gardens and we have several arboretums, but this is specifically a historical site that is improving, and it is taking a lot, but it's getting there. Though we got a new director and a lot of grants. So anyway, this is where this is at. It's in Knoxville Botanical Gardens and Arboretum, and that's where we house our plants. Thank goodness that was a blessing for them to let us use it. Next. Yeah, Karen, I don't even see a clock, sorry.
It's
Is it past time?
7:05. You're really good on time. You're
Say that again.
about halfway.
Oh, okay, cool.
About
So, okay,
8:05.
it's 8:05, I'm halfway. There is the University of Memphis, civil engineer, I can't remember the name right now. Caesar is the program. I can't remember that's the acronym name. So I was really pleased at the University of Memphis, just to say, they just need some growing, no offense, but I'm like, I was really happy that they reached out. But they reached out to botanical gardens. So as far as plant experts in their as a part of the grant and working together. So they contacted the Memphis one, the Nashville one, and the Knoxville one, and it got passed on to me because we house our plants there. And so I got on this, and it was very good. I couldn't believe we got it. It was, because I knew who our our competitors were. And I think it's been a struggle for TDOT to keep up with the maintenance plan. So I'll just say that. Next. The pollinator pathways. These are important, and we call them corridors, I guess. The objective is to connect existing isolated green spaces to to the forest, and so they need food and energy to get there, where all of that is provided for them. So this is the idea, is like bringing it back into where it needs it most. So the Sarah Bergman, the designer of the pollinator pathways from Seattle, she's originally like a visual designer, and she loves bees and wants to save the bees. So, they're not all native. Bees are attracted to a lot of things, not necessarily the keystone plants all the time. And I love the idea, and it's gorgeous, and I would love to see it, and I'd love that to happen here and everywhere. Our part is the city, or I'm sorry, the Urban Wilderness Gateway Park, and they're working on that too, but limited with the flowers, but the trees are happening. Next. My old cohort. This is us at the Knoxville Botanical Gardens and Arboretum. It's like a subterranean greenhouse, and so that's our shade house. Now I'm getting focused on like what's in there. We got some like big leaf magnolias. It's a lot of celandine poppies, like Robin said, a lot of different ferns. These are a lot of plants in here were from that Grassy Fork location that was outside of Knoxville, going east. But yeah, we have a big relationship. It's very strong with the botanical gardens. We have an MOU with them. I used to work there. Jerry does sculpture and stonework there. So I think, we're home, but we're outgrowing the space. This is just the shade house, and it's only half of it. Square footage, I guess it's like 150 by 30. So very narrow. The walking spaces were designed just for like nursery work, but having volunteers in there is kind of tricky, but they get it. Next. Yeah, our home, like I said. So we bring the plants, we try to get rescues, we have rescue sites, we try to dig enough for the volunteers to pot up, looking in that truck. Here's a little bit of them in action. Those are some pretty dedicated ones too, that have become obsessed with native plants. They just wanted to come and check it out. Now they've gone, like this gal in the orange tank top, she's one of the best designers of native plant gardens I've ever seen. And she also took my job, or replaced me at the botanical gardens. It's been great. And she's really into oaks. She thinks everything. We has a Douglas Tallamy, and I guess one of his recent books about the oak tree. She's really into that. Next. Some stuff in action. This was a field that was getting mowed. We asked the property owner if we could rescue some things, and he had stressed that it would also continue to grow, but they had to mow it occasionally for some reason. Yeah, I wonder. There are people that often will ask me, how do I keep my neighbor, off my back? I said, put a sign in your yard, put multiple like educational signs in your yard. We have smart yards, the National Wildlife Federation, and yep. Next. Rescue restoration, working with some UT students. We do that every year. Sometimes multiple instructors will contact us to see whether they can get some other education or do a project, that is. So that's been interesting, because they come from all different areas of where they want to focus on. So digging plants isn't necessarily what they want to do, but nonetheless we have to do our part. Next. Yep, another condo area. That was amazing. There were thousands and thousands and thousands of trilliums, Mayapples, mostly that was just overrun. And it's interesting to learn about how, so it had been it had been clear cut in the past. And so a lot of the soil had been removed. And so the corums of these plants were so close to the ground. I've never had it so easy to pop out. And the trilliums had multiple stalks on their corms. So it's like if you do scar it, you can have a bundle. And I just kind of cool. Next. The Fourth and Gill Restoration is neighborhood thing. They got a grant from the city, and we got all the neighborhood involved and made a meadow, and a meadow is not easy. So a lot of invasives start coming back and needs a scheduled mowing. And they just creep in. So the grasses, the native grasses have been able to kind of keep a lot of that out, which is good. A lot of the milkweeds still come up, and you know, asters are a keystone plant. So we're happy. Next. So this is something we've been working on for about 3 years to get the public kind of involved in, I don't know, it's like scaling up a little bit and using more natural resources. So it's an educational tool, but it's also it's a competition. So we have the Sassafras Awards. It's our 3rd annual one. It's happening now. Our last tours are this week, and you get there's a residential category, and then there's a public garden category. So yeah, that's been fun, seeing places I've never seen and asking the property owners or the curators of all these questions that are very useful to the community and our judges that we pick. And it's actually a lot of hard work. So we're gonna wonder if we're gonna do this again next year or wait another year. And this coincides with our fundraiser that we're trying to get a little bit more legit as far as a nonprofit goes. Our first one was a pizza party, so and our second one last year was free to everyone. And it was, yeah, we needed tickets, but anyway, we'll get there. Next. Our beautiful volunteers. So I've always wanted community. I'm a single lady. My family lives far away, and I'm like, and this is it. This is this is what I've wanted, and this is what brings me joy, to have all these wonderful people to have fun and play with plants and learn about plants and teach you about plants and then teach them. So yeah. Next. Another view of our of our stock. Having fun. So you see the grassy area, the guy in the blue shirt standing there on the left. That's all full now. We've extended this place, or outgrown it. And so we don't know what to do. Oh, I think everything will fall into place, but there is we need to put a tarp down there for one thing. So we're gonna talk to the board about that at KBGA. This is Knoxville Botanical Gardens. Next. Oh, I'm done. I'm ready for questions. And there's that one. I do have to say another serendipitous thing. I just love when things just fall into place so beautifully. The sassafras leaf at the bottom with the spice bush swallowtail has the very moment that I got the graphic designer to clean up the drawing I did for the sassafras, I was like, do you mind putting a spice bush swallowtail larva with the leaves munched on, and no, the butterfly coming from it, because otherwise it looks kind of goofy. And he's like, yeah, I'll work on it. And that day I was doing a consultation, and then I saw that, and it made me really happy. So
Should. Lovely.
Thank you.
All right. I'm going to stop the screen share so I can see the chat. All right, now I think I can get to the chat box. We have some questions. Let's see. All right, what is the book? Okay, the book is the Tennessee wildflowers of Tennessee and the Ohio Valley and Southern Appalachians. And you can purchase it from from some of our members, the ones who are doing education outreach. It's also available in bookstores, and it is currently out. It is currently available. It is the best best wildflower book for Tennessee. And for those who haven't discovered it yet, it's got a cheat sheet in the front. And in the front, you can see it has plant flowers by color. So if you see, oh, there's a pretty red flower, I wonder what it is, you go to the red flowers and find it or something like it. And it tells you where to go to get details. And if that's not exactly the right one, it tells you similar plants. So
Very cool. I love that it has all the
very much
subspecies in there too. It can kind of be confusing about like which one.
we've gone through many printings of it, and unfortunately our supplier likes to let things run out before a new printing, and that has caused some issues. One year in particular, when it wasn't available anywhere for a year.
I remember. I was telling people about it and I couldn't find it.
And that's when it went up to $200.
I know it was on eBay for like $200. Oh my gosh! And then I found it in that bookstore for 10.
You're kidding, $200?
Oh yeah, it went up. It was incredibly, stupidly priced because it was, and that continued long after it was available again.
Huh.
Because you can go to Barnes and Noble, and I'm not sure what other bookstores. The only one I have near me is Barnes and Noble, so I check that one whenever I'm in there. I check and make sure they're stocked.
Oh, good, good for you.
But I that's the only one I actually get to see regularly. So, and it's listed on our TNPS website under publications, along with other books that we supply as well.
So to be clear, the 3rd edition is your latest available book, correct?
I think so. This is one of the old ones. And
okay,
like you, mine is falling apart.
Yeah.
It is well done.
I do want to mention before I forget, there is an app called Picture This, and it will look like you have to buy it, but just press cancel, but it is worth buying. It's just $30 a year. That is really, really, really smart AI going on there. So Picture This. And it gives you more information than just the name of the plant. You can kind of like understand that that's the location it's in. I've not had a plant app that has been as accurate as this one. So just throw that out there.
It's also, if I can jump in for a second, it's also pretty good with bugs.
Picture This is also mushrooms.
There's mushrooms. Cool.
Okay.
Okay.
One comment is, I have seen your booth at the Knoxville Farmers Market. Another one is keep up the good work.
I will.
One question, how did you balance the nonprofit and work? Did you transition to being paid by donations and fundraising?
That is an excellent question. That is it's actually a very complicated answer. Let me think how to not go too deep into it. How did I transition? So when Jerry and I were doing this together, we were literally paid $150 a week each. Is that right? Yeah, $150 a week. So $600 a month to do what he mostly considered a full-time job. He had well, he was taken care of. I'll just say that. He had a nice life, and he was able to do artwork, which is his that's his heart is a lot into making things. He's a sculptor and ceramicist. So anyway, he took a lot of time doing a lot of the organizing, and he's a wonderful writer. He's so he's so verbose. It's like, okay. So at least not at least, but I'm appreciative of him and I miss him dearly, but we're friends. So, since he's resigned, I asked to be a full-time employee. I'm going to be my title was the restoration specialist. I was, that's complicated too. I wanted public service loan forgiveness. So now I'm the executive director and I get paid $15 an hour for 40 hours a week. And that's how I have a meager minimalist lifestyle. I don't have children and I live in a very cool place that is almost paid for. So I'm happy, but I could be happier. Because yeah, the money doesn't come in so much from the grants. We're really trying hard to find people to be consistent sponsors or donors. So we really need to get ourselves out there and be just, angels to everyone. Charisma goes a long way. So yeah, that's what I do. And I'm able to survive. And I'm on 15 an hour, just to be blunt. And so before this, where my bread and butter was landscaping. As a restoration specialist, I was doing design, gardening, and then the upkeep, of course. And then it just kept coming. Everyone needed it. And now I can say no. I can just give them consults online and refer them to new landscaping companies that are native plant focused in Knoxville, which I'm really happy about. I'm really happy that they're doing that. And I'm telling a lot of people that have a degree or getting a degree in landscape design that they may want to just make their own company, do their own thing. So.
Okay. Mary Kondo has a question. Have you had other groups and cities reach out to you with interest in doing something similar?
Another good question. Yes, we have. Couple states. The last one I spoke with, or actually got to meet, was from Louisiana. She was kind of 45 minutes, or 45 minutes outside of New Orleans. And we had been corresponding like through COVID, and I gave her all the information she needed, just like kind of to start a wild ones. Like, this is what entails rescue. I understand like wanting to be this nonprofit that is education, but if you want to rescue this, just be prepared for this kind of work and outreach. And they're doing it. So she and I met. She was coming through, and it was wonderful. She said we should franchise. I said just not not my style right now, and the board agreed with, yeah, a lot of pushing back. So yes, and we've had local places in Tennessee. Chattanooga has a native wild plant rescue. Gosh, I can't remember. I knew that I was going to be asked this. We've at least 3 different states, and I'm seeing them pop up on social media more. There are more rescues happening. There's always a collaboration with another organization to make this happen. There's usually like university extension agencies, or just the university itself, or other botanical gardens, or the wild ones and things like that. So yeah, you can't do it alone.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to provide all that information. It's like I can do the bylaws, I can give you the contracts, I can do our pamphlets. Just let me know if you want to try to start something like that and are interested. I can send you all those documents. Just lickety split. Yeah. By the way.
Right. A related question. What would you recommend to folks interested in getting more involved in native plant rescue but don't know where to start?
How, in what way? Like, so getting involved in native plant rescue in a region all by yourself kind of like, what's the specifics on that? What region are we in? Are we talking about the squad? or?
Yeah, so I'm kind of based outside of the Nashville area,
Mhm,
and I
mhm.
want to get more involved in just native plants in general, but I don't really know where to start.
Wild
Um,
Ones. Find
okay,
your local Wild Ones chapter. Yeah,
okay.
that's the. And if you're not satisfied, you contact me. What's your name?
Mary Kondo.
You're Mary Kondo. How do I know you?
Uh,
Anyway.
there's also like Marie Kondo.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's
Oh my
probably what
gosh.
it is.
Oh my gosh, I'm embarrassed. Okay, I can remember Mary Kondo from the extension, or
Awesome.
I'm sorry, this call. Yes, let me know if that works out for you. And
Yeah.
oh, I'd actually like to know how they're running the show as well. So thanks, Mary.
And Mary, you'll want to connect with Richard Hitt of the Wild Ones for the Nashville area. He actually is located in Franklin, and a preponderance of the members are south of Nashville, although there's plenty in Nashville too.
Makes sense.
Okay.
I'm in Nolansville, so right by Franklin. So that's perfect.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'm down at Thompson Station, so we're close by. And Owl's Hill is an active place to get ideas and such. You might even be able to talk them into some greenhouse space or something, some barn space, house stuff.
Yeah, it's a thing, finding that partner to house plants and being close enough to water them.
Yeah.
Whew. I didn't want to be a nurseryman. Like I love taking care of plants, but I don't live close enough to the botanical gardens to check in. So I'm recruiting my local volunteers in that area. They're busy. Like I was saying to Karen, it's like I think the retired folks are busier, like more than you would expect. Anyway.
Okay. How can I get the names of landscapers in Knoxville that will design with and install native plants?
Email me info@nativeplantrescuesquad.org. Go to the
Okay.
website. You don't have to write it down. You can go to the Native Plant Rescue Squad. I can give you a list.
The other says, I'm curious about your work with TDOT and expanding corridors in Tennessee.
Oh, I don't know how to talk about that yet. It's unsuccessful, but I hate that I might be offending someone that may be on this call. So,
Okay.
I mean, I'm just going to be blunt. I mean, just like, I don't know what's going on. We haven't talked in forever, and I'm not mad or anything, and I need to reach out, but I don't have time. I have a feeling that TDOT is not responding to our plan that we produced, and we tried to get them to do their job. Sorry.
I'm just kind of, I'm curious because
Hey, Robin, they're typing in their comments, and if you can see where
so
you can
it's not
do a
inter-
chat. Yeah, well, you can ask me a question.
Oh, sorry.
No, go for it.
I do know that, or I've heard scuttlebutt from a fairly reliable source.
No, I just was curious because recently I had a friend that texted me that they were giving away milkweed seeds. So I got on the list and I got 3 packs of 2 kinds of milkweed, and they're in my refrigerator right now. But earlier I had started milkweed back in February and had pretty good success, and I got 22 started. So I'm working with that. But there was nothing on the TDOT information on how to do it. They're like, oh, just go to our website, it'll be right. And I was like, well, no, because the pack I purchased had how to do it. So the information could be there. They have the ability to print. So
Well, honestly, they don't know how.
the thing is that I think it's a really good idea, and there's money there. So someone with the idea and someone with the money and someone like you that can help put it together seems kind of a good sort of a fit.
Good fit. I agree. I could just send them information lickety split, but I don't know how money works. And I'd be happy to do it for free. But then that's a good point. That you have you went there that came from them
Right.
you didn't have the information you needed. That's frustrating. Yeah,
But it is what they're trying to do the right thing.
true.
So, you know, I mean,
They're not easy to grow either. So
well, yeah, they're not easy to keep alive, but they have secrets.
they do. They're all individually specific.
Okay, yes. Anyway, we're learning their secrets, and that's another story. But they have this wonderful opportunity that they've got money, is my point, and they have like they're doing the right thing, so that should be rewarded, right? Yay! But there's just one little extra step, and you're working with a botanist, and you've got their ear, so it's like, oh, they just need to hold hands, right?
It is. Luckily that happens. When it happens, it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. I don't try to force things. There are I'm I have intentions and I work hard and I talk to a lot of people and I've just learned my lesson in trying to push and expect things from it and being disappointed. So I do like being told those like suggestions because that also goes on my list of things that need to be, recognized. So yeah.
Oh, I applaud what you're doing, where they're going, and I just wanted to say, what a great opportunity and thumbs up to everybody. But
Yeah.
there's money there, and there's the intent, and
Yeah.
that's great.
That's what
And
matters.
we've got lots of quarters because there's lots of roads everywhere. So let's connect them.
Agreed.
Yeah.
All right. I've heard from a reliable source that there is in the works with TDOT that they are going to be eventually seeding wildflowers in the medians.
That's what we're working on.
Good. A good start.
Good.
Anyway,
So we're connecting the dots here.
Well, they are.
that's the grant. It's a
Well,
beautifying. Yeah.
I'm so sorry to jump in, but that provides opportunity for people growing the seed and designing the seed and leading. Joy, there's room for everybody at the table. It's like, how was it? Jose Andre from World Central Kitchen said, we don't need taller walls, we need longer tables. So we don't need more mowing, we need more flowers and trees and shrubs. Needed. We just need to replace them. And you are on the right track, sister. You're just tired. You need help.
Ah. Thank you. Thank you, Robin. We'll talk later.
We'll talk about
all right.
it. Out now.
All right.
You look beautiful, by the way. Okay.
People are starting to leave now.
Okay.
I'll go.
One comment from April. She says, I have to leave now. Joy, I find your work so inspirational. It takes a lot of heart and hard work. It is the boots on the ground conservation I wish to embrace with all my time.
Where's she from? Do you know them? I'm
April
always curious.
In Hendersonville.
Nice. Oh, I love Hendersonville. I think it's very pleasant, but times have changed, I'm sure. Anybody else?
Okay. If anybody else has a question, how about raising your hand? I think I've gone through all of the ones in chat. So if you have any additional questions, something you want to elaborate on, go ahead and raise your hand and speak up. Anyone else?
I got time.
A lot of people will leave because they skipped dinner to.
Oh, I know. I do have to leave. I just said I had time. I'm updating my friend right now.
Okay. All right. Anything else? All right.
You can always email me if you have any questions. It may take a couple days, but I see it. So.
All right. Well, thank you very, very much for
Yay.
joining us, Joy. And we appreciate your sharing and lovely photos. Lots of
Thank
lovely
you.
photos. They help
I'm
a
well,
lot.
I was
Yes.
gonna make that happen. I'm like, we're gonna make this happen.
We did, and we
Yeah,
did.
okay.
There's always a way.
Yeah.
We can always find a way to get around. So with all that, I'm going to say good night to everyone. Thank you for coming. I hope you enjoyed it. And next month, what is our? To look and see what our speaker is next month. Next month we have. Oh, it's a pollinators. It's about pollinators. Our next month we're having Sarah Wittenberg about pollinators in the garden. And I think she knows a lot about bees. I know that much, so it should be an interesting one. And we only have a few more for this year, and we'll be scheduling others for next year. Thank you, Joy, for filling in. It was a delightful talk. We enjoyed it and appreciate it.
By the way, I'm promoting your webinars. I'm very interested in October's, by the way. So I put that in a post.
All right.
So you
Well,
know.
we do
Okay.
put them out on Facebook and such.
Okay.
And October is plant fossils of
Yeah.
Tennessee. This is from a lady who did research on plants at Gray's Fossil Dig in East Tennessee. And for those who haven't heard about Gray's Fossil Dig, it's a treat.
Oh, I haven't. I'm in East Tennessee. I'm excited. Okay.
Yes, it's in far East Tennessee. It's off of. If you're on 81, there'll be a sign somewhere on 81 there that says Gray's Fossil Dig. And it's a museum on top of, it's a museum, it's a dig, and they process the fossils right there on the spot. And they have display windows where you can watch them clean the fossils and put the fossils back together. And downstairs on the first level, they have the museum portion, and they have the fossil skeletons, and you can see all the animals that we used to have here in Tennessee, including red pandas and elephants, and is it saber-toothed tigers, and just all kinds of cool critters that were here in Tennessee
Years, I think.
until they fell in a sinkhole that had water in it.
Is it Gray's like GRE or A?
I think it's GRAY''.
Yeah.
Gray's Fossil.
It,
Okay. Nice.
yeah, it,
And you can go online and find it too.
I am. I'm definitely trying to, I'm going to
They
figure
have a
out.
decent website. They have a decent website, and they do let people help with the dig periodically.
Well, I'll play it forward, or what do they say? Pay it forward, because all the people that help me dig. So
Okay.
awesome. All right.
All right.
really
Take
cool.
care, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Good
Bye.
night.